So this water here is actually taking up space between the western side of Peavine, which is right here, which is what we're on. And we just came around there. That's the northern half. This is the southern half, or the upstream half, downstream half. There's a little connector bridge of land right there, I think. And that's the reason why the island is considered part of York County. That little piece of land connects to York. Now it does go underwater for, you know, parts of the year, in which case you'd think that, oh well, then it would be part of Lancaster, but somehow York County got it. We're gonna go up here, up to the top of the island, and then down the other side to get to the Pothole. There are shelter caves, boulder caves around here. No solution caves, obviously, it's schist, not limestone. There is one kind of cave that I did find here last time I was here. It's right here. And I think what's happening is that this is just a joint. And it might have been scoured out by the flood, various floods, either modern or ancient, whatever you want to call them. And has formed this cave. Let's go check it out. Last time I took a peek in here, it was completely filled with mosquitoes. It was just nasty. But you can see it is actually a gap though. Oh, it's still kind of gross. And there you can see, it goes back in there. There's a dead butterfly. Oh, that's weird. See that right there? Let's touch it. Maybe it's still alive. No, that sucker's, yeah, that's history. Huh. I wonder what happened. Huh. Anyway, you can see this going back there. It goes, I can see about, I don't know, 20 feet. And it looks like it keeps going. I don't know what it does up there. I don't know if anybody's ever been back up in there. But it is a cave right here on Peavine Island. Oh, wait. What's that? See it? I don't know what that was. Some type of bird. Huh. Okay, let's get going. Anybody down there? I'm just hiking through. What the heck is that? You guys see this? Here, let's go down here. This wasn't here last time I was here. Granted, that was a long time ago. What the? It's like, so we're heading down that way to find the Pothole, and I came across this. What's going on here, huh? It's like somebody was living out here on this island. Which gets me thinking. I'm gonna keep rolling, although I may actually be in danger of running out of battery. But I don't think so. I think we're good, so I'm gonna film this. Anybody here? Hello? Oh man, this is in the summer with the mosquitoes and this water. I mean, this is not a place to be. Oh man. And look at this. It's like a foam mattress, but it's got all these chunks out of it. What the heck was going on here? I mean, it's buggy now. What the heck? I'm trying to get a handle on what. Oh, you know what? I think it caved in. I think whatever this was caved in. Oh, he had, okay, so he had, or she, or whoever, although I might actually know who this was. I mean, not personally, but, so they put the big logs here, they draped it with these tarps, and they were living under there. And then they had some kind of skid here, or an old boat dock. Maybe they slept on that mattress right there. The one looks like it's been chewed up by a wolverine or something. Yeah, I mean, somebody was living here. I remember reading about a body they found down here maybe 6 months ago. It was a person, a man, maybe like a middle-aged man, I think, maybe, or I don't know. I don't know what age they were, but they found his body. Apparently, I think he had drowned, and he had been reported to be living somewhere down here in the gorge. I think locals who come down here swimming at the lagoons had known about him. I think he was known to the, the local authorities. I'm guessing that he lived there. That was his homestead there. I'll have to look into that and put some more information up while I'm talking about it. But I remember there was an article, yeah, they found his body washed up on the shore of one of the islands. All right, we gotta get a trail here. Let's head over there, because that side is the side that the pothole's on, and we will bid adieu to this makeshift homestead. If you're gonna live down here, I'd sleep right here, because look at that. You see that? See how that's going in? This is moss. I don't know. I don't think it's broom moss, but it's soft. I mean, it's relatively flat right here. You can kind of set up right here. You know, you don't need, who needs memory foam when you got moss, a thick layer of it like this? That's nature's memory foam. All right, let's find this trail and get on down there before I waste all my before I spend all my battery power. Now I'm worried that I'm going to find another one that somebody will be living in. And we have another living place. This one looks like a tent. This looks more recent though. There's a chair. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't look as mangled as the last one. The sleeping bag, tent, chair, it's all still here. I don't know. There is a fire pit here, so I don't know. Who knows? Maybe there's a whole group of people who live on this island now permanently, you know. Okay, guys. I was changing the battery. I'm still at the spot I was the last take. I was changing the battery, and out the corner of my eye, I caught this black dinosaur-like eye just glaring at me. Oh my God, look at all these vultures. Oh, I'm seeing a dozen. There's one right in the trees right there. You see him? I'll zoom in. He's looking at me. Oh, there he is. Oh, this is good. I want to get closer, but I also don't want to fall down into the river and break my neck. There he is. You see him? Oh, he's right there. I'm not more than 20 feet away. I don't know why this sucker hasn't taken off. Hello. Can I talk at a normal level, or will that scare you? That's a black vulture. It has a black head. There's two kind of vultures here. There's the turkey buzzard and the black vulture. That's definitely one of the black-headed ones. Are you hungry? He keeps biting at the tree. I think he's just hanging out. I don't know why he's still there though. It just seems odd. Oh, there he goes. Oh, there. All right. I knew he was going to take off eventually. Onward. We found a place to get down right here. Still buggy out here, even though it's so, the temperature is nice and cold. Or maybe it's right here. That might be it right there. Let's go over here. Let's see if we can sneak around here with our boots. I think this is it. Oh, jeez. Yeah, this is it. There she blows. I'm sorry, there she blows. So obviously the big thing you realize is that it's like someone just tore half of it away. So the thought being that originally this was a self-contained, fully surrounded pothole that subsequently this half of it, a big chunk here, might have just boom, might have just come off in one giant collapse. Maybe that piece right there, I don't know. And you can see right there, there's a bunch of anchors for rock climbing. What happens is kayakers slash climbers, they pull right up here, and they climb this. I imagine they start here and they go up. You can kind of see a way up. I mean, there's probably multiple routes, but yeah. And then maybe they rappel back down. There's an anchor right there. So yeah, I mean, it's just a giant pothole. Let's go up there and get a shot that way. All right, we're up on this rock here. The vulture's lair. I don't know what you want to call it. The vultures were up here. They were sitting right over there. This actually gives us a pretty good view here. Normanwood Bridge, Grand Canal. Right down there is the break between Upper and Lower Bear Island. We're not that far from the, there's a boat put in right down there. So let's look at this sucker from up here. Here's my backpack for scale. Okay, so the question I'm asking myself right now is this piece of schist we're on right now is fully detached from the bedrock. That the pothole itself is in bedrock. It's in the bedrock of the island. It's not separated. This is. So I'm wondering if this piece here used to be right there, and then it fell off. It got undercut or pushed over during one of these floods, pushed away. I mean, there's a 15-foot smaller kind of winding pothole right there. I guess the thing to do would be look under here without falling. Look under here for signs that this piece might match up with that right there, to kind of get an idea of what's going on. So now we're looking kind of directly towards York County side. Tips right there, bottoms right there. I wouldn't be surprised if we find something underneath here that kind of matches up, but it might have already, the definitive proof of that might have already been washed away. So the big question we have to ask ourselves, what kind of flood event would it take to create a pothole that big, that large? There is a pothole in, I think it's in western Pennsylvania, it's called Archbold Pothole State Park or Park, whatever it is. It's 45 feet across, 38 feet deep. What you're looking at right here, about 30 feet deep. It's not 45 feet wide though. It's probably at most 10, 15. So it's skinnier, but not much more shallow. And the Archbold pothole is the biggest known pothole in the entire state. The reason I came down here today is because over the weekend, I made a short where I took some footage that I shot driving over the Norman Wood Bridge. I set up my camera so I didn't have to touch it or mess with it, and I just drove across the bridge and I filmed downriver, and you can really see how the islands pop out, and I overlaid some narration. And in that short, you can go check it out. I'll post a link to it right here. The narration talks about these ice age megafloods that came down through here between 45 to 35,000 years ago up until about 14,000 years ago. There was also a period during that same period where you just had an unstable climate and you just had rain events. It just rained. I mean, it was just raining. Ungodly amounts of rain came down, storms, the river. Who knows where the normal level of the river was at that point. It must have been just constantly swollen with, you know, surging waters, gravel, sand, rocks, huge boulders. Really wouldn't have been any logs or wood, because this whole part of Pennsylvania heading up north to where the glaciers were located was all basically just like tundra, you know, maybe a little scrub brush here and there, but bare rock, tundra, and just raining, pouring, flooding for just immense amounts of time. And in addition to this period, thousands of years of just heavy rains, there were also multiple catastrophic ice dam failures that were, these ice dams were holding back a glacial lake that had been created by the melting of the glaciers. It was called Lake Leslie, L-E-S-L-E-Y. You can Google it if you want. It was located in central Pennsylvania. It got as deep as 100 meters, or 330 feet, and the level fluctuated. But during that same time, when you had these just relentless rain events and everything was a tundra, and you had these extreme oscillations between warm and cold as the climate was destabilized by probably by, at least in part, by the melting of the glaciers, right? You had these multiple catastrophic floods. Glacial Lake Leslie emptied out down the river up around the town of Muncie. Okay, right around Muncie, that's where the ice dam, that's where they think, that's where the evidence points to that an ice dam was present. and it failed, releasing this huge glacial lake. The water's coming down, just scouring, right? And as these mega floods came down the Susquehanna River, the water would have been filled with sand, pebbles, gravel, boulders, huge boulders, right? I mean, massive boulders, and anything else that was there washed down, right? The biggest of these ancient mega floods could have happened when the lake was at its all-time deep. And if that's the case, as I also mentioned in my short, and this is really the fact that this is why I'm here today. This is why we're here today. This is why I'm showing this to you today, because those floods were the only thing possible that could create this. Something like this could not really have been created by any modern flood. Even Agnes, okay? Agnes was this huge monster flooding event that happened in 1972. And it was the worst flood hundreds of years. The biggest of these ancient Pleistocene mega floods was 5 times the size of Agnes. Now, if you're not from around this area, and I say Agnes, it doesn't really mean anything to you. If you can, take a couple minutes to research, look at some pictures of Agnes. Look at pictures of Harrisburg and all the cities along the valley, along the river valley, right? Take a little time and do a little research, and you'll see pictures of just incredible flooding. But even a flood like that, as big, as catastrophic, as horrible as it was not big enough to create something like this. The only thing capable of drilling down into solid schist like this, if that's what happened, would be a mega flood. Because what happens is, as the water flows over the top of the pothole, it creates this vortex. And the vortex spins like this. In this case, it would be spinning like this, right? Water flowing over top, it's giving it a spin. And then inside of it, you would have had rocks, some big, some small, you know, a whole mixture. But that material would have been suspended in the water as this thing just spun around at super fast speeds. I mean, and it has the effect of just drilling right. That's how they theorize this thing was formed. And it's the same concept here with this one, see? This was formed in the exact same way. This is just a smaller example. You know, for whatever reason, there might have already been a big pothole here, and that big pothole got subsequently enlarged with each successive glacial lake that came down the river. And maybe that's why that's so big. Or maybe there's a unique combination of physical features and topography here that kind of focus the energy here. I don't know. That I don't know. That's really beyond my knowledge. This is a visual representation of the power of these ancient megafloods. You look at this and you know something ginormous, something absolutely almost, you know, it's hard to wrap your head around how big a flood would have needed to have been to create this. Now, it was also the raining over all those years too also contributed. But I don't know if the worst of those, the worst flooding of the rain events, I don't know if that even matched the highest levels of the mega floods. So yeah, that's it. That's the giant pothole. I mean, if you didn't know what you were looking at, you wouldn't probably even think twice about it. Here we are at the top of the cliff. I do a little bit of bushwhacking to get up here, but I think this is it. Where is that sucker? I don't want to fall. I'm about 30 feet off the river here. Here it is. Ah, okay. Hold on. That's not, there it is. That's the top. You can see the little anchor points. You can't really see much of it here. All right, let's let me get to that edge safely. We'll pick it back up. Can you guys hear that? That sounds exactly like the alarm that I heard on the Run to the Hills episode. Dam's up that way. Now I kind of know what that means. I have a little bit more experience here. I'm not gonna kind of panic like I did the last time, right? And I am on Peavine, so I'm just, you know, a hop, skip, and a jump from the York County side, so I'm not gonna freak out and run out this time. But I am noting it. It's there. I was kind of on my way out anyway. All right, let's, oh, see that? It's already over. Huh, that's the wheeling. I forget. If you look in the comments of that episode, a lot of people were nice enough to come by and drop off the name of that, the thing that's making that noise. It's called a wheeling something. And apparently, you know, they can tell just by listening to the make and the model. So go check that out, and let's go ahead and measure this up. All right, that should be looking down right there. That's that spot that goes around the corner. For the scale shot, the camera was right there. And this is the curve. I'm on a downward slope, so I don't want to get too close to it. So what we'll do is we'll measure it. Yeah, I should be able to do it right here. But I'm gonna do that and then come back. All right, we got the tape over. And what I'm gonna do is I extended my pole a little bit. I'm just gonna peek over the edge here with the camera, see if we can't get a visual confirmation of where exactly the end of the tape is. I seem to remember measuring it before, and it was right about 28 feet. So 28 feet is right at the edge, right there. That's 28 feet as it goes over the edge. Hopefully I can see this, and we can zoom in on it when we're editing. All right, that's gonna wrap it up. As always, loved having you guys along. If you enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe, ring my bell for notifications. Also hit the like button if you did in fact like it, because that helps the video. And follow me on all platforms, all right? This is Brett for TopoRanger, signing out.